AJ, I have an
Yeah.
announcement to make. I have traveled to Canadian IKEA, and I have decided to trade Mike in, and I've got to say new Canadian. Say hello to your new adopted Canadian.
Adopted Canadian. Like any of you in Mario Kart 8, as you all cheat. Thank you.
Hey,
All right.
wait, what? What do you mean all Canadians cheat Mario
All right,
Kart?
you fucking pussies. Let's get this shit started.
Guess I gotta try some Mario Kart 8.
The hang-ups we have today that we need to strive for liberty. Lift yourself on your feet. Let's get it on.
It's the Internet Bum Show.
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 It's the Internet Bum Show. Alright, so as if the cold opening wasn't a good enough indicator, we have no Mike this episode. Instead, we have Justice.
How's it going?
I would like to see the boobies.
Ooh. Yeah, sorry. Can't help you with that.
No, just like we've established with Angel, you have to complete more podcasts on your punch card before you can see the boobs, AJ.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Before we induct him super easy, don't he have to, we established a church, remember? Don't he have to do the oath?
God damn it. AJ, I didn't include this in the outline that I put in the Discord event because I didn't want y'all to wise up to it. But I have to say, I'll leave it as a surprise. But to clarify real quick, this is the April Fool's special. It's going to be a little bit goofier than our last one.
Yeah.
And I've got an outline full of fun little things here for us to discuss.
And use condoms.
Tasty.
I've decided that I'm not going to have all of our voices changed to female voices or do the Ricardo voice all podcasts because I don't think my vocal cords could take it. Instead, we've got some Would You Rather, some Flights of Fancy, the Your Mom Report, some Caption This, All's Fair in Love and Hate Mail, and we're going to start with our Tasty Cake cult tenets. AJ ruined the fucking surprise, but yes, Justice, you are probably not familiar with it. I know you said you've listened to some of the older podcast episodes, but you probably haven't listened to this particular one. In episode 6, the episode where AJ got furiously drunk right before we recorded the podcast.
I still don't remember any of that shit. So you're going to have to help me. Remember,
AJ was so drunk when we recorded it that even if he listens to it once, the drunkenness infects him through his headphones and he can listen to it again and it feels like the first time listening because it's just new information over and over again.
That's the best kind of drunk.
you have no idea. I don't even remember what I drunk, but it was a lot of it. And I definitely had to pee for the rest of the night.
As the title of that episode would suggest, the thing AJ said the most was, what was the question again?
Did I really? What the fuck?
Yep. We did the dumbest fight ever, and I pitted your driller versus Mike's engineer in Deep Rock Galactic, and I asked you how you would start the fight at least 4 or 5 times, and because of that, the name of the episode became What Was the Question Again? All right.
Oh my God.
So in that episode, we formed a cult, and AJ happenstance named the cult Tasty Cake. And
I don't remember any of this shit, I promise.
And I kind of made up my mind a few episodes back that I wasn't going to have the cast do the tenets of the Tasty Cake cult, but it's April Fool's, so we're gonna do that. So. Justice, feel free to join in if you would like. AJ, I'm going to state the tenet and you will repeat it after me.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Just, I don't remember any of this. So
that's
ready as
fine.
I'll ever be.
That's fine. All you have to do is I will say it and you will repeat it.
Okay.
Artifact 1. Thou shalt fight fairly and honorably.
Thou shalt fight
Fairly
fairly
and
and honorably.
honorably.
Artifact 2. Thou shalt refrain from hitting below the belt.
Thou
Thou
shalt
shalt
refrain from hitting below the belt.
Artifact 3. Thou shalt remember that the trash man arrives on Wednesdays.
Shalt
Remember.
remember that the trash man runs
Shit.
on Wednesdays. What the fuck?
All of these, except for the last one, were by AJ, by the way. Artifact 4. Thou shalt only indulge in the comfiest of robes.
Thou shalt only indulge in the comfiest of robes. I don't remember any of this shit. Oh my god.
And Artifact 5, written by one Michael Wickstrom. Thou shalt decline the use of any robe that does not have a crotch hole.
Thou shalt decline
the use of any robe that has not have a crotch robe. Crotch robe.
Crotch robe?
Crotch robe.
Crotch hole.
Crotch hole.
Alright. So moving on to our first segment of the evening. This would have been a little bit more fun with Mike and Jake because they have dirty minds, but AJ is still one of the biggest perverts I know, so this will work just fine.
Wow.
It's time for
Put
Would
me
You
on
Rather.
Okay.
Look, you opened with talking about boobies.
Oh my god.
I mean, you can't really blame him.
Your catchphrase is, all right, you fucking pussies, let's start this shit.
You know what? I'm gonna let it slide. Please continue.
All right, so I've got a few of these here, and y'all just tell me, would you rather?
Okay.
Would you rather be
Mhm.
blasted into outer space with no spacesuit, or listen to Taylor Swift on repeat for the rest of your life?
Jesus Christ.
I'm
I'm not
definitely getting
Superman,
space.
but I promise you, I break the atmosphere and stratosphere and just be like, oh, this is life now.
And now the Internet Bum Show will be canceled by all the Swifties, as if the other episodes before this one didn't give them enough reason.
Are never, ever, ever getting rich together. All right, let's go.
All right, the next one. Would you rather lay naked on broken glass for a full day or make out with Donald Trump in front of the world?
That'd be fine. Broken glass.
I mean, I this is gonna sound sus. I can already hear Jake yelling how sus this answer is gonna be. But my biggest concern would be getting my lips orange.
Ooh. Yeah. Okay. First
Um,
Cheeto dust.
So here's the problem that we run into every time we do Would You Rather, because normally it's someone else asking the questions and then I just answer because, you ask a question, you answer. I try to rationalize and assess like the different finer, intricate details of why I would or would not do something. Here's my thing. If all of the broken pieces of glass are flat and are lying flat on the ground, it might not hurt.
Gonna get cut. Say like lower you down in the.
If you're extremely careful about, and I have to say I did not write any of these. These all came from Reddit, which is why some of them sound really weird. But I think
we all think.
I'm a little bothered by it as well because I think about like if it had to happen here where AJ and I live, and it's always hot here. Unless it's winter, it's almost always hot here. So I'm thinking if it's out in the sunlight and I'm laying there naked on the broken glass, especially if the glass is out there before I go and lay on it, that glass is not only going to be sharp, but it's going to be hot. And on the other end, it doesn't say how long you have to make out with Donald Trump for.
I mean, how long does it take?
I mean, I don't think you can just go in for a peck on the lips.
Especially not with Trump. He's the best at everything.
AJ, when you make out, how long do you take?
What?
I said when you make out, how long do you smooch for?
I mean, I'm not going to put me and my lady's business out there, but for about a couple hours, because that's what we into.
Yeah, okay, broken glass all day. If I got to make out with Donald Trump for 2 hours in front of the entire world, fuck it. I'll lay on glass all day and then launch myself into space on the following day. Fuck that. Jesus. All right. Would you rather have sneeze edging or post-nut clarity?
Repeat the question.
The first one?
Yeah, please.
Would you rather have sneeze edging or post-nut clarity?
No, sneeze edging where it's there, but it doesn't like go.
That was my interpretation of it, yes.
I promise you, I would much rather have that than post nut clarity because, yes, just post, yeah.
Man, I got
The-
ADHD. I could use a little bit of clarity.
that's honestly a refreshing answer.
No, my
I fe-
ADHD is a superpower, so fuck that shit. No.
Despite it being an open forum and a comedy podcast, I feel like that's the most honest answer I've ever gotten to a question. So I appreciate that, Justice.
You're very welcome.
All right, this one has several answers, so I'm going to say them slowly. It says, you're receiving a name change. Which would you choose? Faggy Marshall with a PH, Hitler Johansson, Pukey Rivers, Carolyn Sillyho, Problematia Jones, or Layla Brownhole?
Wow. Okay, so Adolf Johansson is definitely gonna be like the one chosen.
I mean, you're already AJ.
Yeah, so I mean, it works out. What's your real name? You really don't want to know my real name?
It doesn't say Adolf though. It says Hitler Johansson. I
Oh,
don't
no.
think you could. I don't think you could change it to that. I mean, you could be HJ.
No, never
It
mind.
doesn't roll off the tongue as well, though.
No, I'll just go with what was the second one?
That was the second one.
What was the first one?
Faggy Marshall, but Faggy is spelled Phaggy.
Yeah, I'll just go with that one. Yeah, that's way easier than.
What was the fourth one?
Carolyn Sillyho.
The next one?
Problematia Jones.
Misha Jones.
That's what I'm gonna start
that's-
calling AJ if he shows up to
That's
any
definitely a
podcast
weird
strong.
one, but it's
Honestly, I'm gonna go with either Faggy Marshall because when people hear your first name, they're gonna get offended. But if you tell them it's spelled this way, well, I mean, what can they really do?
No. They won't get offended with OFF. They'll get offended OPH. Yeah. Okay.
It would either be that one or Layla Brownhole. And Brownhole, as weird of a name as it sounds, I feel like there's got to be at least one person on this planet that's got the last name Brownhole. Because it just sounds like one of those really old names. Like you hear weird names and you can tell they're old because they were before the internet and before meme culture. Meme culture has ruined a lot of fucking names. Now, I will say honorable mention, Carolyn Sillyhole. I like that name. I think if I was to become a stripper, I would be called Carolyn Sillyhole.
cool, right?
Yep, Sillyhole. All right, the next one. Would you rather get 20 random superpowers or $1 billion and an extended lifespan? Are you drunk again, AJ?
No. I heard you, but I couldn't hear you, if that makes sense. What was the
It's
question?
because you weren't listening.
I was listening, dude.
In one side,
God.
out the other.
Look, both of you can go suck on Hitler Johansson's proverbial mustache.
Would you rather get 20 random superpowers or $1 billion and an extended lifespan?
20 random superpowers because I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
I mean, it could go back to that one random superpower you said that would be super useless, which is just being able to go invisible for 10 seconds.
My question is, do you know what the powers are once you get them?
I mean, I would hope so. I didn't
Or do you
read
just
into
find out randomly?
Let me say this, because we spent like 5 minutes discussing the broken glass
Right,
question.
right.
Because you don't want to kiss Trump. That's why.
I read and jotted down these questions and the options. I did not read into the comments because I was worried about people doing the exact same thing we're doing now, and which is basically just overthinking and speculating.
Rules lawyering or something?
Yes, basically. But for sake of argument, I would assume that once you get them, you know what they are. And it says random superpowers. So if we're speculating that it could be literally anything, in that same episode where AJ said being invisible for 10 seconds is a useless superpower, then that would also imply that being able to go invisible when no one is looking at you, or being invisible when no one's looking at you, is also a superpower, even though that's literally just someone not looking at you. Honestly, I think I would rather get the 20 random superpowers myself, because even if half of them are useless, you still get 10 superpowers, and you could do some shit with those.
I think I'd take the $1 billion in the extended life. You're
Oh,
still going to
here
die, so
he
you don't have to worry about
goes.
immortality. You're not going to be floating around in a cold, dead universe forever. You got
Unless
$1 billion.
unless immortality is one of those superpowers.
Well, yeah, I definitely wouldn't want that. That'd be a bad time.
Last would you rather I have is, and this is a tough one, especially for AJ given how tall he is.
Uh-huh.
All women get beards, or all men become 4 foot tall.
How tall AJ is?
He's taller than me, and I'm like 5'9", 5'10".
Beards, because if you take my height away from me, I promise you there will be no kneecap safe.
Even though your girl is like half your height.
You know what? You didn't even have to. Yeah.
You would still be taller than her.
Cap is safe. I'm just saying that.
All right.
My head on enough things. I'm pretty tall. It'd be nice to try being short for a little while. I don't really want a bearded girlfriend.
Fair enough. I don't blame you, man. And besides, it could be like one of those cartoons where you're 4 foot tall and your girlfriend is like 6.5 feet tall. She just puts you on her shoulders. Yeah.
See, being big and tall, you don't get a lot of shoulder rides because you crush people.
Changing my answer, but I kind of want to know what the growth cycle of a baby growing into a young man and then eventually a full-grown man is like if they only grow to be 4 foot tall.
Aren't there people like that?
I mean, there are. They suffer from dwarfism, but we don't exactly have any cast members to sit and ask that. Maybe one day. Maybe if this episode doesn't get us canceled, just like all the others haven't somehow yet.
Counseled?
Oh, it's time for the drinking game because we keep making shameless plugs. I also want to point out, because I meant to mention this in the intro, but the last like 4 episodes have had shit quality audio from me because over the holidays, my headset that I was using broke, and the headset that I bought to replace it would not connect to my phone because it wasn't a Bluetooth headset. It's a USB. But I have since set up these little station that I talked about in the end of the year special. And before we even started, Justice let me think that for a whole half hour that my setup was broken and wasn't working at all.
Yep. Sorry about that.
And then AJ shows up late and is here for like 3 seconds and is like, dude, you're too loud. But I just want to throw that out there because I've hated listening back to the episodes, whether I'm editing or just listening, and going, I sound like I'm in a hallway that's been empty for a year. Exactly. That's how I would explain it to people. Is I sounded like I was in a university dormitory hallway that's been empty for a year.
You're in the gymnasium on the opposite wall.
Oh yeah, like I'm in the gymnasium and I'm leaning against one wall, and on the other side of the room is the fucking microphone. It is. All right, it is time for a fan and cast member favorite. It is time for Cat and AJ's Flights Fancy. Now,
boy, it's Mega Man.
Now, I will say I'm not going to spoil the original topic that I was going to have you cover, AJ, but because we are missing core cast members, I'm going to switch it up on you. So be prepared for an extra special Cat and AJ's Flights Fancy either in the next episode or one down the line, because I think after the next one is when we do the mental health specials.
Okay.
All right. So, Justice, and for listeners who are not familiar with the segment, what Cat and AJ's Flights Fancy is I give AJ a prompt and that of a location in which he is an airline pilot and he is flying over giving an air tour. We've had topics from Azeroth, World of Warcraft. We did Woohoo Island from Wii Sports Resort.
Oh, that
We've had New York City during a visual artist riot. We've had Candy Island, and there was a scrapped one where we had him fly over the house of Omegle Man. That one was actually a lot of fun. The problem was that AJ's audio was not present in that entire recording. So he was there, but he wasn't there.
It was my fault, and I apologize.
Well, no, I mean, we could all hear you. It just wasn't getting picked up by Craig.
Craig.
Yeah, Craig's a little bitch. All right, AJ, your prompt for this flight of fancy isn't even a flight. In this episode, Captain AJ has taken on a temporary job as a train conductor and is giving a tour through a random desert in the southwestern United States.
Desert in the southwestern United States.
Yes, you are a train conductor. This is going to be Captain AJ's train tracks of fancy.
Wow.
Throw you a curveball on this April Fool's special.
Yeah, in the southwest of the United States.
Yeah, just like think of like arid Texas or Arizona or something.
That's like central south, but okay.
Yes, Texas is kind of central south. Let's go with Arizona because there's a lot more desert out there.
And a lot less.
Or Arkansas, whichever you just pick. I mean, fuck it. For all I care, do Egypt. You're a train conductor in Egypt.
A train conductor in Egypt.
Yeah, can you imagine that before he starts Justice? Can you imagine that? An American airline pilot takes a job conducting a train in fucking Egypt. Just let that sink
Go
in
forward
for a
and
minute
backwards.
there.
God,
Fucking career switch and a half.
that is definitely a switch. Okay.
All right.
Thank you, everybody, for traveling the airplane of, the train of soul. As we are currently going through Egypt, be sure to have your water ready. And if you do not have water, we have spare camels in the back. Just make sure you have your Bowie knives available. Thank you, and my lovely coal miner right here, Mrs. Sheila. Hello, Sheila. How are you? Nice to see you. Look, you got something black on your face. So sorry. Okay. Well, everybody, we're traveling at a nice, lovely speed of 300 miles per hour. Yes, that is our regulated speed, because if I went faster, I would lose this license too. Alright, so as we're going through Egypt, if you would look out to your left, you'll see a couple of pyramids. Yeah, they look really nice. Oh, look, yeah. They're like little Doritos. Yes, and I do see a couple of camels and a couple of horses, and there are some guys wearing black garb on the horses, and there are a couple of people that are defending the entrance to these pyramids. We're gonna watch that a little later, but let me just slow it down for a little bit. If you look to your right, you'll see a nice large cloud of dust, and upon further inspection, the large cloud of dust is sand and what appears to be large spiders rolling in the sand and in the air. Well, brace yourselves, folks, because if you have arachnophobia, you get bit. You won't turn into Spider-Man. You'll be turned into ground fertilizer. All right, thank you, Sheila. I needed some water. I'm a bit parched with this dry, humid air. We do apologize because our air conditioning system has been jammed for a few days for the simple fact that somebody forgot to empty out all of the sand from the burrator in there. So we're going to be a little hot and steamy in here. Keep your clothes on. There are children here. Okay. And we look back to our left, and I do see that everybody that was on the horses have started to run, and the people that are on the camels are safe for right now. No, I take that back. Thank you for pointing that out, Sheila. Hope you're having a wonderful day today. Still got something black on your face. Don't want to say what it might look like because I could get counseled. It appears to be a large face in the sand. And upon further inspection, there is a sand dune and there's a guy that's there, and he has his hands out. He's bald and he's wearing these black garbs, and he's speaking in a language that I don't know. And he has a book in his hands, and he's trying to conjure up the dead. That's a little weird. I do hear over the large engine somebody's name being called out. O'Donnell? O'Connell? I'm not too sure. But we're going to keep it moving. Uh-oh, brace yourselves. Here's that sandstorm. Oh, spiders. I don't like them, but, you know, maybe they're just hitching a ride because they love my calm, soothing voice. And if I had an airline, if they were this high up in the sky, I'm leaving. I'm kidding. Calm down. Everybody keep your seatbelts on. Now we're passing around complimentary waters. The waters do appear to be turning red. I'm not too sure what that's about, so just think of it as Kool-Aid, everybody. Because trust me, Kool-Aid makes any situation better. Now we're traveling and we're speeding up because the large sand cloud has turned toward the train, and the face is trying to devour the train right now. Oh, everybody that's in the back car or the caboose, please move to the front. That is, everybody in the back cars, please move to the front. Please and thank you. I want to take your money. I don't want to take your lives. We're going to speed up now. And as you can see, moving down now, if you would look to your right, you see the Sphinx. The Sphinx that were created. Yeah, they're missing a nose. Oh man, I have so many jokes for that right now. Maybe if they didn't spit, they wouldn't have quit making those. I'm sorry. I'm terribly sorry, everybody. Sheila is motioning her hand across her throat, telling me to not say the rest of that joke. Okay, Sheila, thank you very much. Oh, spider on your shoulder. Please exit, please. I don't like that. Thank you. Now, we're going to keep on moving. Yes, and it appears that we are about to go through Cairo. That's a lovely, lovely city. That is nice. And I see a couple of soldiers. They're not carrying guns, but they're carrying large swords. Okay, that's amazing. And now, everybody, if you would look to your left, you will see a lone man wearing this white hood over his face. You can't see him. But he appears to be climbing a tower. I think he's just trying to get a better view of the land to see what's all going on right now. Don't jump. He's jumping. Oh boy. He jumped all the way down. That's like 13, 14 stories up. Good thing there was that hay up under him to catch him. Man, and I would only imagine what would have happened if there wasn't anything there. It appears that those Templars are looking for him. They're carrying their swords and they're searching and they're searching. Oh, he just grabbed one of those people and he put him inside of the hay that was on the ground. They'll never know he was gone. But maybe his wife and kid. It's a little joke. He's probably not married. Oh, the man has appeared to get out of the hay, and now the people are circling him. They appear to want him to turn himself in. He appears to look at the people. Let me use my telescope. There's a spider on it. Oh, okay. Gotta shake that off. He's looking at them and he's shaking his head. And now he appears to be giving them 2 middle fingers. Oh, he just stabbed him in the neck. Oh, look at all that blood. I mean, look at all that Kool-Aid. I didn't know that he was the son of the Kool-Aid man. That's amazing. And he's now attacking all of the other people that are around him. And guess what? They're filled with Kool-Aid too. What is that, Sheila? I'm sorry. Oh. Okay, okay. Sheila has told me to put on the video of the evening. Instead of Soul Plane, we're gonna watch Train. Don Cornelius, all right on, my brother. Okay. And once again, everybody, thank you for choosing my train, the soulless train, since we don't have any air and people are apparently passing out from heat in the back. And there are spiders now on the train. Sheila, can you lock the door, please? And give me that large bottle of Raid. Thank you. Thank you so much. Did you do your hair? It looks nice. It looks nice. Thank you. And we hope you will use us again. Thank you. This is your captain. And I'm out.
Fantastic. I think that is by far the longest Cat AJ's Flights of Fancy you have done.
Hey, AJ, but please never do a PA in real life.
Why? Why?
People would be, it would be absolute pandemonium.
It would. That's what makes the segment so great. Like, here's another thing is that people who have listened to the segment before probably don't consider that once it's out there on YouTube, I have already run a filter over it and made it sound like he's coming in through the radio. But you and I, Justice, we heard that in real time with just AJ's normal, soothing, sexy-ass voice.
Wow, it is not all that, but thank you so much.
I don't know. You sounded kind of a little bit like Mr. Freeman in the beginning there.
I can see that.
Well, thank you. Mr. Andy Dufresne has always been a friend of mine. If you look to your left, you'll see the day old taco. Get busy eating, get busy dying. Yep, you missed it.
You are listening to the Internet Bum Show. Like and subscribe for more of each of us, more episodes of this podcast, and the occasional gaming video. Back to the show. Alright, so this was a segment intended for Mike. Mike is not here, so we are going to have our trade-in Canadian do it for us. Justice, this is the Your Mom report.
Sorry,
and the
girl.
Oh boy.
Sorry.
the you do that every time I say it. The word this.
No, I say
Every time
time you
without
say
fail.
this is. It's an open door, man. I can't help it.
The way that this segment works for people not familiar with it, I have an article here that I found humorous. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the headline title to Justice here, and he is going to tell us his best interpretation of what he thinks the article is about. Now, I will say this. I don't do it unless it's requested, but I have a ChatGPT summary of the article and a PDF of the article itself if you would like assistance. So when you're ready, this article in question is entitled
The story of a girl.
They Bought Bidets During the Pandemic. It changed their lives.
They panic bought bidets during the pandemic, and it changed their lives.
Yes, and the subtext is 4 years after the toilet paper shortage of 2020, bidet converts say they're never going back.
Eric Bidet.
So, Justice, what do you think this article is about? Or give me your best summary of what you think the article is about.
It seems pretty straightforward. People got the COVID shits and couldn't go out into town to buy toilet paper because, it's absolute bedlam out there. So they either bought or jury-rigged bidets into their commodes, and they're not going back.
All right. I think that is the most straightforward summary. Like, we've only done the segment with Mike twice, and I think one of them, he was right on the money with what the article was about. And the other time, he was like way the fuck off. So I'm not going to read the entire article because the PDF I saved of it is 6 pages. But the
Right.
ChatGPT
Jeez.
summary of it is the article discusses the enduring impact of the toilet paper shortages experienced during the pandemic lockdown in 2020 on the bidet industry. It highlights how the bidet business in the United States saw a significant increase in demand during this time and how many people opting for bidet attachments or seats as an alternative to toilet paper.
How do you write 6 pages about bidets?
I don't know. The article features testimonials from individuals who have embraced bidets and emphasizes the environmental and hygiene effects or benefits that they offer. Despite the surge in interest, ownership in the U.S. still lags behind many other countries. The article also touches upon the market expansion and ongoing growth of the bidet industry, fueled by increased consumer awareness and interest. Additionally, it discusses how bidets are becoming popular gifts and notes on the industry's focus on incorporating features for aging individuals and those with mobility issues.
Isn't that
Overall,
the
the
name of
article.
a singer?
What?
That's the name of a singer, isn't it? Eric Bidet?
I don't know.
Eric
Overall,
Bidet.
the article portrays days as a growing trend with long-term appeal and benefits, spoken like a true artificial intelligence.
Spoken like a true artificial bidet.
Is there anything that either of y'all wanted to tie in on that before we continued?
I mean, yeah, they make you nice and clean, but the one we had felt like you were getting pressure washed down there, and I don't know about you, I don't really appreciate that.
Is there not like a pressure adjustment setting?
That was on the lowest setting, so I don't know what you're supposed to do on high. You'd be on the ceiling.
Due to
The graphic nature of this content, viewer
No.
discretion is advised.
no, in some scrapped content that the internet will never see due to lack of usability and some tender information being exchanged, the last podcast we did would suggest that AJ and I are not able to acquire bidets, so we'll take your word for it.
Not able to acquire bidets.
Yes. And
Why
that's what
can't
I'll
I
leave it at.
acquire a Benes?
No.
What?
For fuck's sake.
Not fair. Everybody else gets one. I want one.
You can have ours. I'll mail it down to you.
Cool, thanks. I
All
would
right.
love a benet.
It's used, just so you know. No
Gross.
surprises.
Gross.
It's time for Caption This. All right, so Justice, this segment should be very explanatory for you, but in case it's not, and for any listeners who might not understand based off the name of it, what it might be. Caption This, I have 5 different photos that I'm going to share with y'all, and y'all will just give me a caption, or for lack of a better expression, comment on it.
Mm.
It's slowly become a favorite segment of mine, and I think the others enjoy it as well. So I will be posting these in booth 1. Here is your first picture. It is entitled Old Timey Photo and Mystery Object.
The inventors of the first pocket pussy.
Justice?
Inventors gather around prototype ray gun. I don't know. I know what it is.
What
You know, I never noticed it, but it does look somewhat like a ray gun. Now, I will say this. Looking at the thick end of it,
Excuse
it
me?
looks... No. Like, look at the larger end of the device.
Excuse
It
me?
looks like there's a handle underneath that spiral section at the top,
With the
but
bell
I
end.
think that's actually a gentleman's hand. I don't think that's like a gun handle or anything. Or a
Oh,
grip.
I would
I'm
like
pretty
to
sure it's
change
some
my
kind
caption.
of royal scepter or something.
You know, now that I've given it a closer look, I think you might be right.
I'm changing mine
I'm sure
now.
you could still beat somebody over the head with it. It would be quite effective as a weapon.
The first ever no probe.
See, that sounds more viable than a pocket pussy. Like, where do you stick your
Viable?
dick in?
No, because I just looked at the men. I didn't see the Call of Duty ray gun of 2023. Like I
See,
didn't see it.
that's what I keep telling y'all. I don't even I see what looks like it might be a grip, but it's just a dude's hand.
Maybe
I mean,
that's the
it's on
grip.
a stand. I see the hands behind, but
Yeah, I kind of see that now.
any other
see.
information?
You'll see.
No, I went to r/caption this and promptly downloaded it.
Okay.
All right, on to the next one. Your second picture for Caption This is entitled Amish Laptop.
And discover Lemon Party for the first time?
Okay. Do you really?
Uh,
They're Amish?
yes.
Bruh, you do not want to know what I got for this.
Or, I mean, I say they're Amish, they might just be Jewish. I might have just said one of the most racist things ever. This might be up there with saying... This might just be up there with me saying that flag looked like cave paintings. I do not know.
What?
Okay, we need to figure out if they're Amish or Jewish or not.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they're Amish.
All right, I got to look it up. Yeah, because if I say the
Um,
wrong thing, this could be a really bad night.
We're all going down.
Let me see what they look like.
I think you could be forgiven. They look pretty Amish.
No.
Oh god, I just googled pictures of Amish men. These are not Amish, they are Jewish.
Yep, I'm not saying my joke. No, thank you.
Oh, well.
Yeah,
I got more experience with Hutterites.
I just saw a picture of a Jewish man. Oh, I found it. I googled Jewish men with laptop and the picture pulls up.
That's exactly what I was about to do.
Yeah.
So do a full 180. The title of this picture is Jewish Laptop.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave it alone.
You Google the same thing, and I just get a bunch of very happy-looking gentlemen.
You gotta scroll down. I did a lot of scrolling before I found it.
Okay.
All right, caption the picture, gentlemen.
That picture?
Yes. Yes.
No.
Yes. Yes.
No.
AJ says his caption is no.
I opt out. I wholehearted opt out on that one.
Distinguished gentlemen discover lemonparty.com for the first time.
Wow.
All right, now for innocent young people such as myself, what the fuck is lemonparty.com?
Google it, my
You don't
friend.
know what that
Google it.
is?
I'm about to Google it in an incognito window.
That's a
You
good
do it
idea.
yeah, totally.
Been warned though.
Oh. Okay, yeah.
Yep.
That's about on par with what my comment was going to be. Jewish
Mhm.
men
I'm
discover
sorry.
porn for the first time.
No, that O was so genuine. I'm sorry. He said, "Oh,
Oh,
Maybe that's why I didn't know, is because I don't like watching cam girl streams.
that's not where I learned of it, but okay.
yeah." But it is definitely not where I learned of that.
I probably got it from John.
Probably. All right, moving on. Your next picture is entitled Getting Turned.
Getting turned.
He too turned.
Ooh.
Is he drinking? What is he drinking?
It looks like it says Merlot.
I mean, it's a plushy bottle of wine.
Well, yeah, of course, but I mean, a lot of those tend to, have some semblance to real world brands. So
Isn't Merlot? What?
it might be Merlot.
That is what it says. 11, I think. I don't drink a lot of wine.
Fair enough. Caption the bottle, AJ.
Caption the bottle.
Merlot? Oh man, that dog must have had a rough day. Probably barked
Little
up
known
there.
fact, Merlot was what AJ drank right before the recording of episode 6. Nah, he didn't drink that. I don't think so. I
Straight
think it was
vodka.
Jim Beam, because I remember him muttering about it during the episode.
Well, whatever it was, help me out with it because I don't remember shit.
Just go back and listen to the episode. Listeners should do so as well. It's one of the better ones.
Okay.
I'm gonna.
All right. Your next picture, gentlemen, is entitled Missing a Finger. In the picture.
It's the current trend. I cast 2 in the pink.
I like that caption. I like that caption a lot.
Yeah, that beat it for me.
My only thoughts was Gandalf like Star Trek.
Oh yeah. I work too. An aquarium now.
AJ, do you have anything you want to add?
No, that was a perfect caption. I got nothing.
All right. And your last picture for Caption This is entitled Kitty Kong. Caption this, gentlemen. You realize that's an infant, right? It's a
What?
little
It is?
baby.
Oh.
Kitty Kong is like a toddler.
See, I was gonna make a prostate exam joke.
Yeah, bleep that out then. Cranky Kong lied to me.
My caption would have been, fuck. I just had it and I lost it. What the fuck was I gonna say? Oh, I know what it was. Kitty Kong says,
I know what you were doing yesterday, and I'm not happy.
all right. Is there anything that either of you would like to add before we move on to the next segment?
Looks perfect for one of those 1,000-yard stare.
That banana wasn't covered in chocolate.
Oh, no. That's so gross.
I'm sorry.
For the, what?
Go ahead.
Time for the light at the end of the tunnel. Justice, if you're not familiar with it from what you have heard, the light at the end of the tunnel is kind of like a palate cleanser. This kind of serves as a bar of soap in your mouth to kind of cleanse everything out and not necessarily amend our sins, but make things right with the world, at least for a time. I go out and I find a wholesome clip or picture and I share it here for us to just kind of go, we're not the worst people on the planet. Being said, your light at the end of the tunnel this time is a picture and it is entitled Bad Batman Mask. It is getting pasted into booth 1 now.
Nice.
AJ, do you have anything to say about the light at the end of the tunnel?
The light at the end of the tunnel is often sometimes the exit or a giant train coming at you. But remember, in both instances, you can win the lottery.
I meant the actual picture I posted in booth 1.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, you should have said that. I was over here being positive. Oh my God. What the hell?
I mean, it's obviously a Wish.com
Yeah.
Batman mask.
Oh, absolutely. It's time for the outro. Just the way we do our outros is we say the first thing that comes to mind. I will have AJ demonstrate, and then I will have you do it, and then I'll follow suit behind you. AJ, what's the first thing that comes to your mind right now?
Man, legit. The first thing that comes to my mind, axe. No, the first thing that comes to my mind is honestly, know your worth. Know your worth, because you can give somebody the world, give it to them on a silver platter, and if they don't see that, you're just wasting your time. You can be the best person in the world to somebody, and they still would just take you for granted. So know your worth. Try to be something to people. Just don't get it. Like, if you're in a situation where it's not being valued truly, just leave. Know yourself. And
You
if
can't change
somebody,
the people around you, but you can change the people around you.
yeah, you can always change the people around you. Sometimes it's just better to be by yourself for a while and let the right people find you.
I'm glad you're back on this wholesome stuff you were doing. I've recently been binging our older episodes to try and get inspiration. And when you hit me with that do in episode 13 from ODB, it kind of threw me through a loop because I forgot that, especially when you had given me positive messages the 3 episodes prior. All right, Justice, what is the first thing that comes to your mind right now?
Well, I'm a dairy farmer, right?
Right?
And when I'm feeling down, I go and I hang out with the calves. Very sweet. They're very goofy. There's no better therapy than hanging out with 40-something 3-week-old calves.
All
They
right.
will absolutely love you. Some of them will take their time. But, if you just sit and are quiet, they will all come up to you. They'll have their little noses sniffing in your face, try and chew on you, and if you got any loose items on you, they'll definitely steal them from you. But yeah, if you're ever feeling down, find yourself a dairy and hang out with the cows.
There you
That's
go.
what I do.
All right. Thank you for listening to the Internet Bum Show. You can find AJ at Alfred Solidus on Twitch. Justice, do you have anything you would like to plug, sir?
Your neighbors. I don't know. I don't stream or anything like that.
Be good to your liver.
Yeah, that too.
Yes, be good to your liver.
Be good to your kidneys. Dialysis sucks.
Oh, I've had kidney stones twice in the last 2 years. I know to be good to my kidneys. All right.
Usually I'm just Rolling Stones.
All right. It feels a little weird only having to plug AJ because normally if there's anyone absent that I don't plug, it's Jake or you. But no, we only have AJ to plug. Like the video, subscribe to CMJ Entertainment today. Hit the bell to get notifications for when I eventually start uploading gameplay footage again. This has been the Internet Bum Show. Thank you and good night.
Good night.
Bye.